In John chapter 13, Jesus makes a beautiful statement. It's verse 35. And he says, John 13:35, he says, "By this all will know that you are my disciples if you have love for one another." And it's just a real simple statement. By this all will know that you're my disciples because you love one another. You have love one for another. Now, love isn't some just mushy feeling or some emotional state. Love actually is action of selflessness, of giving of oneself for the sake of others or of another. And we can find love defined in a couple different places. We can find it in 1 Corinthians 13. He talks about what love is. King James calls it charity, how it's patient and kind. And also in Galatians 5, the fruit of the Spirit. The fruit of the Spirit is love. All the other things that we call fruit of the Spirit are actually descriptions of the aspect of the notion and nature of love and what it is. And so when Jesus says, this is how people will know that you actually are my disciples because you love. You are love. And in fact, if we go back to the very beginning in Genesis, we see that God created man, male and female, in his image and likeness. John tells us in 1 John 4 that God is love. He helps us to understand the very nature and likeness of God. And so you were created in the likeness and image of God, which means you were created to be love as he is love. And so being fruitful and multiplying is being fruitful and multiplying that very nature, the very character, the very likeness of God, which is being love. Now, this process was interrupted when Adam and Eve chose to eat of the fruit of death, of the knowledge of good and evil. But this is also part of their process because we learn through the mistakes that we make. But the first mistake, even before they ate of that fruit, was Adam having this notion of being alone, somehow separated from his creator. And God was never was separated and moved away from Adam and Eve. In fact, even after they ate of the fruit, he shows up in the garden. So all of these concepts bring us into this place where we understand that our very nature, our likeness, is the same as God, who is love. And so our likeness of being like God, being as he is in this world, so are we, is love. And Jesus said, if you're truly my disciple, which means to be a student, to one who learns from, to truly learn from him. This is this connection, this closeness, this intimacy, this relationship that we have where I'm listening, I'm seeing him, I'm learning from him, I'm hearing him. I am becoming love. Now, love is not self-centered. It's not selfish. It's considering others and it's esteeming others even better than yourself. That we look and we see and I give of myself and I sacrifice and I say, wait a minute, I don't want to do this, but I know that he or she doesn't want to do it either. So I will do it as a gift, something to bless that individual or those individuals. See, love is not self-centered. Love is considering others. And this is what happens when we are connected to Jesus, when we're connected to our Father. We learn what it is to truly be loved because he is love and he made us to be like him. So this is also the transformation that takes place because we think differently. We have a new way of thinking. We have the mind of Christ. These are all things that the scriptures tell us are true. And he has given us everything that pertains unto life and godliness. Life in abundance and godliness, which is love. Loving one another because we learn from him and he has given us the capacity, everything necessary to truly grow up into this. And this is his desire, his plan from the beginning, is that we grow up and come to the fullness of the stature of the measure of Christ. That's in Ephesians 4. All of these verses flow together. And when Jesus says, this is how people know you're my disciple, you actually learning from me and you look more and more like me because I've given this to you when I created you. And I'm calling it forth now in this present time when he says this in John 13. He knows who you are. He knows that you're a good tree and will bring forth good fruit. And he is helping you to grow up and to truly be like him in your actions, in all that you do. And this is only accomplished and only realized through that deep, intimate communion and fellowship and intimacy with Him. That is what it means to truly be His disciple, to learn from Him. And my life, my thoughts, everything is changed. And if I see something contrary to that, it draws me back to be His disciple, to listen to and learn from Him. By this shall everyone know that I truly am discipled by Jesus, my love for others.